I'm Deborah Duncan Owens, and I teach in the Graduate Literacy Program at Alfred University. I'm pleased to share with you a little about the research that I've been immersed with for quite a few years. As a result of my inquiry journey, I have developed a conceptual framework for enlightened literacy, which consists of four cornerstones: a panoramic perspective, a humanistic ethos, a spirit of curiosity, and a focus on the pragmatic. The purpose of my research is to interrupt the ever present narrative that has persisted throughout the reading wars since the 1950s, and now in the form of the science of reading movement. And I want to present a new paradigm for literacy instruction that encompasses the larger spectrum of what literacy means in a democratic and pluralistic society. Before I go further, I want to emphasize two important points. One, phonics is essential. And at least since the early 2000s, when No Child Left Behind was implemented, instruction in these foundational skills has been an essential component of reading instruction. Two, the National Reading Panel, the document that serves as the seminal research for the science of reading movement advocates, stated it is important to emphasize that systematic phonics instruction should be integrated with other reading instruction to create a balanced reading program. Phonics should not become the dominant component of a reading program, neither in the amount of time devoted to it nor in the significance attached. Importantly, even more contemporary research confirms the National Reading Panel's conclusion. Phonics is most effectively taught and learned within a balanced instructional program. So it's time for a change, a new paradigm, time to interrupt the narrative. We know how to teach children to decode words. We know how to teach the 26 letters and 44 phonemes. We also know how to differentiate instruction to meet children where they are in their trajectory of early literacy learning. But decoding is just the beginning. Literacy is so much more. I draw upon the historical period of the Enlightenment and propose enlightened literacy as a new paradigm in which the employment of literacy in all its various forms and modalities, informed by philosophy, science, social science disciplines, and the humanities, promotes hope for the improvement of the human condition, democracy, and global citizenship. One of the cornerstones of enlightened literacy is embracing a panoramic perspective that enables us to envision a broad landscape, whether it be a mountainscape or a seascape. We can take it in, mentally absorb all the beauty of what lays before us. I like to think about literacy in the same way. The problem with the latest version of the reading wars is that it promotes a narrow, prescribed, and reductionist view of literacy that neglects the broader, enlightened view of literacy. A panoramic perspective empowers teachers to draw on an array of disciplines and knowledge to make informed professional instructional decisions. We have access to the findings of neuroscientists about how the brain learns to read, research about the importance of social emotional learning, and how social factors like socioeconomic status, race, culture, and ability, as well as other human dimensions, can bolster and enhance literacy learning. And educators know that the science that informs our pedagogy is still unfolding. It's like standing on the summit of a mountain of knowledge and peering across the panorama to see further mountains of knowledge in need of climbing. A second cornerstone of enlightened literacy is a humanistic ethos, an attitude that encompasses an ethical stance that considers how one should live in society and take responsibility for oneself as well as the lives of others. Teachers who embrace a humanistic ethos recognize that each student is singularly unique in what they bring to the classroom community and value the diversity of their students in all its various forms. Teachers who embrace a humanistic ethos honor the diversity of their students in practice, as well as through the literature they share. The literature they provide for students through read alouds or for independent reading features diverse characters and settings that serve as mirrors and windows for students, enabling them to see themselves and their lives, as well as learn about other people and lives different from their own. Students are therefore given opportunities to walk in the shoes of others and develop empathy. And teachers model a humanistic ethos for students so they can consider how to live within a world that is increasingly complex and diverse, and how to take responsibility not only for themselves, but for the others who share their world. A third cornerstone of enlightened literacy is a spirit of curiosity. Enlightenment philosopher David Hume described curiosity as the love of truth and knowledge. Within the classroom environment, a spirit of curiosity is created as teachers provide time and space for children to learn beyond the mandates of a scripted reading program and a highly structured curriculum. If curiosity is the love of truth and knowledge, it seems that nurturing curiosity must be one of the major goals of education. Ilan Inan, author of The Philosophy of Curiosity, explains that curiosity is expressed through language as we ask questions and engage in conversations and discussions. And therefore, curiosity is not nurtured when time is not provided for children to express their curiosity. Albert Einstein spoke of the importance of curiosity, stating, "Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, and reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day." And he goes on to say, "Never lose a holy curiosity." Therefore, enlightened literacy asks teachers to nurture a spirit of curiosity, or what Einstein called a holy curiosity. The final cornerstone of enlightened literacy is a focus on the pragmatic. The concept of theory to practice has long been a key component in teacher development. What has been lost in recent decades is that theory often arises from practice. Pragmatic philosopher John Dewey envisioned the classroom as a dynamic laboratory in which children learn about democracy. It relies on the ability of teachers and learners to work together, pose problems, and experiment with solutions. Dewey's philosophy of pragmatism in education is built on the premise that teachers, in addition to knowing their subject matter, consider the cultural and personal backgrounds of their students and design learning activities based on the interests of their students. Enlightened literacy provides a framework for literacy teaching and learning that facilitates a holistic approach to literacy education. It empowers teachers as pragmatic professionals who can attend to both the foundational skills their students need to be successful, as well as preparing them as members of a democratic and pluralistic society. At the same time, learners are empowered through highly motivating and invigorating learning about themselves, their place in the world, and their ability to create a better world. Please feel free to contact me at owensd@alfred.edu for more information about my research and publications. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about my research.